we're definitely going to go ahead and get to it tonight. What's up, DJ? Can you hear me? I know it's a delay as well too. So
Yeah, I'm here. I'm up here. I actually minimize this screen. What's up, Newstoter family? What's good, my brother? How you doing?
what's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah.
Hey, real quick, before you get to the show, I was gonna say start the YouTube real quick. I'm actually about to go back out and work again, or whatever the case be. But I'm gonna be up here, just charging my phone over here in the studio real quick. But start the YouTube up so I can put it on the tablet and then just walk out the house.
Yes, it's on already. So definitely go ahead. For my people in YouTube, guys, shout out to you coming in there tonight. For you guys coming in YouTube, click the notification bell, like, share, comment on tonight's broadcast. If you're not a subscriber, become a subscriber as well too. But yeah, Hilda, I saw the change.org that Naheem started about this. That's up in the Jumbotron as well too. I'm gonna find that article and I'm gonna put that up in there as well too. I put the poll in there. If you guys have not voted, I got a poll in there about this very topic tonight. So definitely go ahead and vote in that poll as well too. I'm putting the actual article for tonight's conversation about this as well too. And like I say, this has got a lot of people upset, rightfully so. I can understand. So the Biden administration that patting themselves on the back about everything they've accomplished for Black people as well too. And as always, the article starts off about Black people, and it kind of goes into pretty much a we are the world type thing, and it goes back to Black people. So Black people are concerned about this, and rightfully so. And we're gonna touch up on it. We're gonna touch up on it. I'm gonna give people a few more minutes to come up in the space as well too. And I look forward to hearing what everybody has to say tonight. I didn't get a chance. I know Dana. She had the space with Judge Joe Brown. I believe it was the Israel space as well too. So I'm sure that had to be a pretty good space with Judge Joe Brown up in there as well too. So shout out to Judge Joe Brown. Shout out to the elder. Shout out to Miss Dana too. If she gets a chance, I'm sure she'll swing by. She definitely comes through and shows support as well too. So shout out to Dana. She does her thing, guys. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to her YouTube channel, The Real Dana on YouTube. It's a good channel. Definitely go ahead and subscribe to The Real Dana. She has a lot of interesting content on there. So check her out. Definitely go ahead and check her out. I guess as we have people coming up in here, we'll get maybe about two minutes or so, anything. And Hild, I'm kind of surprised that you actually didn't do a space on this yet as well, too, because I know you stay on it. You and Buffalo. Hopefully, we'll get Buffalo up in the space tonight. I know she's.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. I was reading something. As far as that, well, that's why I was anticipating to come join your space regarding the Freedman's Bank, but this has been going on with the VP for like 3 years now. Um, we were all upset about it when they first came out. You know, with this minority situation in the Freedman's Bank. But what bothers me the most about it is that they can actually do this with the Biden administration, but there's no talk about how much money was lost from our people from this bank and how they were never compensated for the loss. And this whole minority situation, and as far as these DEI and in which the Democrats are pushing the diversity, equity, inclusion, and how the conservatives are attacking it, and how we're attached to this as a minority is all problematic. But I'll get into that probably in the space, my own space. But yeah, I think it's all related.
What?
This minority situation, and it puts us in I think, a better position because I think it's best for us when we're detached from any other minority group or, just as an ethnicity. So the OMB conversation, reparations, what's happening now as far as race-based policies being rejected or struck down, in federal courts and the Supreme Court. I think it's all related, and we need to have a discussion about it and how we can strategize moving forward as a collective. But I'll do a space on that.
What's up, cuz? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, chilling. What's the word with you?
Nothing. Just, in here, seeing what's going on. I know Newstoter got some heat for us, so.
Real quick, Hilda, I meant to respond to you. I'm sorry as you was talking, but the cat Davey talked about I kicked him out of he had left a tweet talking about I kicked him out of the space. I didn't kick anybody out the space. So I don't know what he talking. Oh, okay. I'm like,
oh, okay. If you let this in the space.
Yeah, I didn't kick. I'm about to say I didn't kick anybody out the space.
Don't, DJ. I'm in my mic.
Okay, I'm like,
share the room out, y'all. Share the room out. Hey, get on YouTube, Daddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, please, I didn't kick you out. You were just in the space. How I kicked you out? So, yeah, okay, right. Anyways, I see some of our people coming up in the space as well too. So, shout out to everybody coming up in here. You can see what the title of the room is, what the podcast is. If you're on YouTube, it says using the Freedman's Bank legacy for minority groups, and it's pretty much the same thing here on Twitter tonight as well too. This article was written by The Grill. It was curated on the platform as well, too. It's up in the Jumbotron. I'm going to go ahead and touch up on this. And you guys, and Hilda, I know you said that you were going to probably go in deeper on your space, but feel free if you want to go in and whatever you want to say in this space, feel free to go in and say whatever you want to. So we're going to have a open mic. Anybody wants to come up here and discuss this topic tonight, by all means, feel free. The U.S. Treasury Department will host annual Freedman's Bank Forum to address racial inequality. The U.S. Department of Treasury will host its third annual Freedman's Bank Forum on Wednesday, October 25th, to highlight the Biden-Harris administration's efforts to address economic disparities for Black and Brown communities. The Griot exclusively reports. The annual conference, which begins in 2015 during the Obama administration, then Treasury Secretary Jack Lew is named after the Freedman Savings and Trust Company. It was established by Congress in 1865 to provide newly emancipated Black Americans after the Civil War with safe bank deposits to strengthen financial security and the opportunity to build family wealth. Frederick Douglass famously led the bank before it ultimately failed. The Treasury Department tells the Grill the objective of the Freedman's Bank Forum remains relevant today as Black and Latino and other communities of color continue to be economically marginalized due to centuries of structural racism. From day one, building a fair economy has been the centerpiece of the Biden-Harris administration, says Secretary of Treasury Janet L. Yellen in an exclusive statement provided to the Griot. The third Freedman Banks Forum under this administration offers an opportunity to reflect on progress made to achieve the most equitable economic recovery in our nation's history and continue to advance efforts to expand economic opportunity for Black Americans and communities of color across the United States. The forum, which will take place at the Treasury Department's cash room, will bring together key leaders from public, private, and non-sectors to discuss policy solutions to the closing the racial wealth gap. The conference will also underscore actions by President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris to tackle persistent drivers of racial inequality in the United States. The Treasury Department official emphasized the U.S. economy's recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, which wreaked havoc on U.S. households, particularly Black Americans, who had an unemployment rate of nearly 17%, which was above the national average. As jobless rates climbed, millions were put at risk of losing their homes to eviction. This risk was especially acute in Black communities where Black renters have historically accounted for about 1/3 of eviction filings, said the Treasury official. Since then, Black unemployment rate reached a historic low under the Biden-Harris administration, as well as gap between Black and white unemployment rates. The pandemic also led to the shuttering of Black businesses, which were closing twice as fast as other businesses at its height. The Treasury Department highlighted that President Biden's policy helped to increase wages for Black Americans, and its investments in Black businesses led to the number of Black business owners increasing by 10% between 2021 and 2022. According to the Treasury official, the department invested 1.4 billion in Black-owned and Black majority shareholder depository institutions throughout its emergency capital investment program. Investments across ECIP are predicted to increase, leading in Black communities by nearly $80 billion over the next decade, said the official. Additional actions the administration's plans to highlight include investments like $65 billion to provide affordable high-speed internet and $110 billion to repair roads and bridges, among others. Our collective efforts are ensuring that Americans can live healthy and productive lives, and they're shaping a new future for our children and generations to come, said the Treasury official. During and leading up to the Freedman's Bank Forum, the Treasury Department said it would announce additional initiatives to continue the progress we made in building a more equitable, inclusive, and resilient economy. So, like I pretty much said, I knew they was going to pretty much pat themselves on the back about all the things they've done for Black people, which is crazy. And I know this is one thing that they've really been touting is the amount of how the Black unemployment rate has just plummeted under Joe Biden's tenure. But and I'm no Trump fan, but the actual unemployment rate in the country was actually going down even as Trump was in office as well too. But presidents, and they said it before, presidents they really don't have that much to do with a lot of the actual economy gains and stuff like that, even though they're always given credit under their administration. Hilda, I know you were saying that you felt that it was kind of wrong for the way they're trying to tie everything in there. So not only do you hear the comment in there about Black and brown, but you also hear other communities as well too, communities of color, and how they were marginalized economically and everything else as well too. So it's been a whole thing constantly. They constantly keep tying everything into one another. But all of these economies, all of these actual minority groups and stuff, for as much structural racism as they face, they still seem to be doing better than Black Americans in this country. Like if you look at actually Asians, if you look at the Latinos, if you look at all these other groups, they're still doing better than Black Americans. So as much as they face, which is not as much as Black people face, they still seem to be doing better. And I'm not exactly sure how you can have a Freedman's Bank Forum and it's including any and everybody else. We pretty much know history. Everybody knows history. If you're going to have a Freedman Forum, it should have been all of the top Black businesses or business leaders, and it should be solely dealing with Black people and nobody else. So the fact of the matter that you're able to go ahead and tie these other groups in there, and then you talk about what Black people are going through, it's just always in these articles, it's always, we'll use Black people as a subject matter, but then we'll go ahead and we'll squeeze and we'll slide somebody else underneath there. So when they're talking about all this investment and this and that or whatever, it's going to be really, really curious to see exactly what that paper trail is leading to. Because if you're able to go ahead and you're able to put people up in this predicament like this right here, more than likely that money's going to be sliding someplace else. They're pretty much letting you know this right here. There's no way you're going to spend all that kind of money because you've never spent that kind of money solely on Black people. I'll be damned if you're going to spend $80 billion solely on Black people. You're going to spend Black communities by nearly $80 billion over the next decade. I believe it when I see it. And we keep talking about the additional actions the administration plans to highlight include investments like $65 billion to provide affordable high-speed internet and $110 billion to repair roads and bridges. You haven't even fixed the damn water issue down there in Jackson, and that's a $2 to $4 billion fix right there. So I'm really skeptical of this right here. We already know the infrastructure of the country's been crumbling down. They've been supposed to fix these bridges, these highways, these roads, and everything else, these water systems and all of that. Don't sit up here and tell me that you're going to actually spend $110 billion and you haven't even fixed the actual in Flint and Jackson and so many and numerous of these Black townships where Black people are actually majority, where they can't even get clean drinking water. You're not fixing that. So I definitely have my doubts on all of this right here, and not even doubts. I just think it's a bunch of BS right here. I think this is another way that they got the grill in it, and this is another way of using the media. You're using blackface to go ahead and say we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. In actuality, all that money is gonna be split. You're gonna have Latinos, you're gonna have Asians, you're gonna have this group, you're gonna have that group. Everybody's gonna get a slice of it. And I'm wondering how much of the actual money will Black people actually get as well too from it, because I don't think it's going to be a whole hell of a lot. And I'm glad, and we got that actual up in the jumbotron. We have that actual petition. Uh, it's up in the jumbotron. Let me see what it says. It's the second. It says stop Biden administration from using Freeman's bank legacy for all minority groups. Guys, that's the second in the jumbotron. If you could, if you can't do it right now, go ahead, definitely sign that. Also retweet that out as well too. Retweet it out to all your followers, retweet it out to all your people, sign it because this is exactly what the space is about tonight. We also have the actual there's a poll up in there that's on the right hand side, far right hand side. It's the actual title of this actual room here as well too. Definitely go ahead and participate in that poll. Let me read that out real quick. Says, should the Biden administration use the Freedmen's Bank legacy to help all minority group? I got meant to put groups, but group. It's so far we got 3% said yes, 95% say no, 2% says not sure, 0% says maybe. We have 146 votes. It's 2 days left to vote on this. So if you have not voted, if you have not participated, also go ahead and participate in that poll. Go ahead and retweet it out as well too. DJ, I know you kind of back and forth. You in the space? Are you out of it or what? Okay, I know DJ.
Yeah, I'm up here. What's going on, man?
Yeah. We just touching up on this issue right here tonight, and I'm trying. I know Naheem said he was going to come up in here because Naheem actually started this petition, so I definitely wanted to get him a chance to come up in here and actually speak about this as well too. And I want to hear what y'all got to say about this as well too, because we got Freedman and we got and there are a lot of Freedmen out there. And I know there's a lot of back and forth here on the app and stuff about this person, that person, or whatever. But nonetheless, you do have people out there in the community that's actually doing work and stuff like that all throughout the nation. So, shout out to those people that's actually going out there doing it. Hilda, I know this is something you're passionate about. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so again, I would have to emphasize on the fact that the Biden administration can move forward, with this minority approach with the Freedmen's Bank, and they haven't even acknowledged, what happened with the Freedman Bank, why it's no longer in existence. It's because I believe he was the CEO of the bank who actually stole all of the money investing and gambling and purchasing things with the depositors' deposits. And of course, the FDIC wasn't in place at the time. So none of those deposits were secured, and the people lost their money. So the fact that the Biden administration can move forward with this minority approach without even acknowledging all of the lost deposits of our, people, money, in which a lot of our people afterwards they didn't trust, banking. They wouldn't put their money in the bank. They would, save at home, putting it under the bed because they felt like, they couldn't trust the banks or this government to save their money anywhere. So that's number one. Number two, another thing that after this Supreme Court hearing, affirmative action, the decision for the affirmative action on college admissions, it was struck down as unconstitutional. Now you have a law firm, I think his name is Edward Bloom, who's actually going around suing on this racial equity and diversity, equity, inclusion, which is a Democrat philosophy that has a lot to do with, and it's basically all race. So he's actually sued. He's the one behind. For years, he's been trying to get affirmative action, at least that part, college admissions, based on race consciousness, struck down. And he has finally done that with a conservative court, of course. And now he's going after all companies, organizations, capital venture companies who are basing their funding or resources um, on race-based policies. So there's been a couple. I know the latest one was the Fearless Fund. That was a venture capitalist company for
That was for the women, right? For the black.
yeah, black women. Uh, they actually are. That's still an ongoing case. But it was another company. I can't remember the name of it or organization that they went after with a lawsuit. But they actually changed their policy. So that they settled out of court because they changed their policy. So and it's I think another one. I'm gonna have to get these articles back, but it's interesting because with this minority approach that the Biden administration is taking with the Freedman's Bank, I'm wondering because it's based on race, right? If it would be constitutional or what would come of this, because I think in a way it's going to be good for us because it gives us a chance to reset. Um, and everybody shouldn't qualify because everybody wasn't harmed, because of their race. Like, we were. We definitely have a history of being harmed just because of our race and our skin color. But everybody doesn't share that same history. So that's problematic when the Democrats try to add and, piggyback everybody else on our history and our struggle and our plight in this country. So in a way, it gives us a reset because I believe in Tennessee, a judge had changed the, I think, 8A section of the SBA program where because it was based solely on race, that people would actually have to prove their harm, how they were harmed by their race in order to qualify for that particular program. And I think a lot of that is going to start taking shape and form after this affirmative action ruling. So it's interesting to see what happens or what becomes of this Freedman Bureau, or I'm sorry, Freedman Bank that the Biden administration, because it's 3 years now we decision. So I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing something soon.
I think sometimes somebody was saying that before that if you do have the Freeman Bureau come back again, that it would have to actually be appointed by the actual government. That you would actually have to have government employees to actually oversee it. Do you know anything about that, Hilda, or is that just speculation at this point?
Well, that was a point of contention because a lot of people just felt like there shouldn't be any government employees or anybody overseeing a bureau because they don't feel that it's conducive. Like it really doesn't provide any real results. It's just people, money where you'll just be paying people to do things that's less effective. Like if you're just gonna have a bureau, you'll have people that works in the bureau, but you don't need to have any oversight of the bureau. But again, those are just bills being proposed or introduced, and of course it has to go through the legislator, and we don't know what you're going to actually get because once things go through the legislator, they get watered down. So I'll just wait for the result after it goes through the legislator, or or during that process. But until we won't know what it will be. All we have is the bill, but we don't know if all of the programs in that bill is going to actually be what the person who introduced the bill wanted it to be. Because, they're going to have something that everybody can agree on to vote on in order to pass it. So things are going to be added, things are going to be taken out.
I wanted to read this post that somebody sent me earlier when I created the space early today. They sent a post. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Give me 1 second. I want to read it and just and get the room's perspective on it and how you feel. Okay, the post is from That's Alpaca. He said the Freeman Bank recruited depositors, even children, through uniquely extensive advertisement campaign using false promises, moral statements, and racial stereotyping. The bank's success in collecting deposits resulted in a transfer of wealth away from from American freedmen. Hilda, I mean, to your knowledge, I mean, from what this person is saying here, have you ever heard anything like that before?
Yeah. That was a part of the Reconstruction was to and the purpose of the bank once they I believe those people that was given 40 acres allotments of land, once they were evicted off those land, they were trying other avenues of helping the freedmen to build wealth. So this bank was supposed to be one of those ways of helping them do so. And it was children, that were depositors, and a lot of people. I think like probably how much was in that bank at the time? Because I don't want to get mixed up what is old now to what actually was in it. I think it was like around.
When it like 30 million, now I could be wrong, and I'm just estimating it was at least around.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm just estimating it had to be around 30-some million at least, I would think.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I've heard that before. The whole Reconstruction thing. And then a lot of the legislators just felt that it was a failure and they moved on. The same old benign neglect, moved on to something else. And we never got, they never really repaired us. So, but they moved on to other things, bigger and better things for their us.
And such a shame because you can imagine the money that they actually stole out of that bank. What did they use to fund? Like what type of businesses and real estate and everything else?
They were gambling. They were gambling, losing money that way, investing, losing money on investments and stuff like that. But there was no. The government at the time didn't have the FDIC, the security for depositors at the time. But it's just funny that that's not even mentioned. And they're working, using the Freedman Bank, the Biden administration, without giving that underlying history. And how. And then using, Black people, the same people that, lost our ancestors who lost their money, saying this is how much the Freedman Bank or what they want to do for us. But adding these other people that don't share that history with this bank and all of the money that our people lost in this bank, and it's not mentioned at all.
Yeah, that and you're right. Nobody ever mentions it. People will talk about the actual money that was stolen, but it's almost like it's a footnote in history. Nobody wants to speak about it too loud and this and that or whatever. Because one of the issues when you start speaking about reparations and things like that, and people want to know, how can you give something this and that or whatever, when you can clearly you can clearly backtrack and get the records and show exactly how much was stolen. Nobody wants to speak about that. And if we're talking about $30 million, who knows exactly how much that is in today's time? And when you actually you look at what money's worth today, that could easily be worth, who knows, a few $100 million at the very least. Maybe even $1 billion. Who knows? I couldn't tell you exactly what $30 million in the 1860s or whatever would be worth today. But I'm sure it's got to be worth a whole lot of money. And you're right. The simple fact, and here's the issue I'm having with it. Certain things I can't wrap my mind around this. If you had an injustice like this happen to any other group in the country, and if they were having a forum and the White House was having a forum, if it was, if they were talking about the Chinese and the way they were treated in this country and the Chinese Exclusionary Act and all this other stuff, they were talking about any other historic mistreatment of a people, that people would be front and center, and they would be solely about those people. They would not be trying to go ahead and tie other groups into it. And that's the issue right here. They're going to tie other groups into something that it had nothing to do with anybody else. And that's no disrespect to the minority groups and the people of color and this and that or whatever, but it had absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with you. It's solely a black issue.
Absolutely. And I found something. It's a quick search on Google, and it reads: the bank opened 37 branches across 17 states and Washington D.C. within 7 years, and collected funds from over 67,000 depositors. At the height of its success, the Freedman Savings Bank held assets worth more than 3.7 million, approximately 80 million in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So you were around, when you said over 100 million, you was right in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Because in 2021, it was approximately 80 million.
And you're talking about people who were just slaves, basically just coming out of slavery, people who were illiterate, people who had no education, people that had to, as an old timers used to say in my day, scuffing and scraping up every little cent that they can get just to have all of that blown away and just thrown away and just flushed down the toilet. I mean, that's something really to speak on. What's up? I see Naheem is up in the space as well too, and shout out to Naheem for starting that petition as well too, guys. Like I said, that's up in the jumbotron. I definitely want you guys to go ahead and sign that and retweet it out. Go ahead and share it on your other social media platforms as well too, guys. Definitely go ahead and try to get as many signatures as possible. I know I went ahead and I signed earlier today myself, and I retweeted out. I retweeted out a couple times. When I saw it a couple days ago as well too. So definitely go ahead, guys, and sign that. Try to get as many eyeballs on that as possible as well too. And like I said, also vote in the poll up in the jumbotron as well too. Naheem, what's going on with you? How you doing tonight?
Hey, Space, what's going on, Newstoter, man? Shout out, brother DJ Sister Hilda, was good. But shout out to the fam. This is an important issue because what I know. What's good, bro? What's good? What we're witnessing is an Obama type figure in Kamala Harris being used as the black face to put in front of, and I don't know how much y'all cover, so hopefully I'm not repeating what y'all have already said, but she's being used as the black face, if you will, because people believe that she's one of us in this country. There's a lot of people that still believe that still push that, run with that, etc. Because she's the quote-unquote black face, they believe that they can usurp the legacy of our Freedman ancestry and the things that was established for us. I want to read real quick, and I don't know if y'all read this, so forgive me if I'm, talking over y'all. I forgot my sister Roz was doing a space on immigration, and I definitely wanted to chime in there as well because that shit is hurting us too. But this is from the 2022 Freedman's Bank Forum that was put on Treasury.gov, and I remember reading this last year. And I just want to, it's very short, and I want to read it real quick. It says the U.S. Department of the Treasury event commemorates the 150th anniversary of the chartering of the Freedmen's Savings and Trust Company, commonly referred to as the Freedmen's Bank, which was created to provide economic opportunity for newly emancipated Americans. Now notice they didn't say American free. They left that specificity out. Now, don't get me wrong, newly emancipated Americans is a cool term to use, but not in this regard. What they're doing is setting up what they really want to do. Let me continue reading. It says the forum will honor the history and legacy of the Freedmen's Bank through cross-sector intersectionality. That's another term, intersectionality. Cross-sector discussions on community and economic development and the vital role that minorities depository institutions play in fostering broad-based economic growth and the financial health of all Americans. So I'm pretty certain y'all have covered the fact that all lives matter, the legacy of the Freedmen's Savings and Trust Bank, so that they can use it to give opportunities to these immigrants. We know that Yellen, once Biden got into office and she was appointed, she set aside $9 billion for such a purpose. And that money is not going to Freedmen businesses in this country at all. It is, in fact, going to quote-unquote minority groups. They have the Office of New Americans, which we're all familiar with by now. A lot of this money that the government has used allocated as set-asides are going to people that have no skin in America's game. This is why I crafted that petition. I know a lot of y'all don't like Nahi. That's cool. But this shit is important because we can't let these people wipe out our legacy. This is our legacy. And we can't claim to be fighting for reparations and delineation and disaggregation, etc., while allowing the government to use the legacy of our, remember, as Hilda was just reading when I came into space and Newstoter was touching on, this bank was looted. Mercer Baradaran wrote a book called The Color of Money, and it deals with black banking in America. And she starts off with the story of the Freedmen's Bank that was looted by greedy white folks because we did not have any control over it. Now they're saying we don't even have control over the name, and they're going to take the name, the light supremacists like Kamala Harris. They're going to take the name, use the plight of our people as they've always done, and give monies to everybody else while our people suffer economically, still in this country with no relief in sight. We got to fight against that, fam. Make sure y'all sign that petition. It's in the Jumbotron. This shit is not about Naheem. This is about the legacy of our ancestors. We came out of slavery. I'm going to shut up after this. We came out of slavery. They killed Abraham Lincoln. And remember, we fought for our freedom. A lot of people, they don't understand that part. But Abraham Lincoln said, if not for the black freedmen, the war against the South would have surely been lost. We came in and changed the tide of that shit. Our ancestors did that. And I want people to really, really think about that. Then they murdered Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth. The niggas gonna vote? This is what this dude said. Blew his brains out while he was watching the play. They then said, Andrew Johnson, the Negro can pull himself up by his own bootstraps. You know what the Freedman said? Hold my beer. Hold my beer. What you read, Sister Hilda? 67,000 people, 67,000 of our people made deposits in the Freedmen's Bank. Hold my beer. We got this. We got this. We still did our thing. And then these greedy bastards, because they knew that we didn't know how to read and write and understand contracts and do business and banking, etc., used the money that we worked for. Our freedmen ancestors worked for and put into that Freedmen's Bank and looted it. They stole it from us and we never received a dime of it back. That's why this topic is important. That's why that petition is important. That's why us becoming more politically educated and more politically active is important. I just wanted to get up here and say that, man.
Definitely, Naheem, and don't go nowhere because I mean you were cooking right there. And like you say, this is beyond any personal gripes or beefs anybody may have or whatever. If you're truly about the betterment of your people and wanting to see them actually do better, then you definitely go ahead and sign that actual petition as well too. It's not about any beef that you may have or whatever. We're trying to do things for Black people, so we got to go ahead and put Black people and make them the primary focus. And I'm glad you went ahead and you put that out there. Hilda, she's been cooking since the space has started as well too. So shout out to her. I see my man, that Negro's up there real quick. Let me give a shout out to my man, Cognitive. I don't think he's in it no more, but Cognitive, thank you for your donation on Cash App. That Negro, how you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good, brother. Salute to the host. Salute to the co-host. Peace, power, and Negro reparations for the Black American Negro that built this country with slave labor per Special Field Order 15. To answer the question, using the Freedman's Bank legacy for all minority groups. Man, I'll sign that all day. Everything that encompasses our people, such as the word Negro does, needs to be saved. Just like when we all spoke up at the OMB, they were trying to take Negro. Hell no. This ain't about me liking Naheem. This ain't about me liking Hilda, anybody else in here. You know what I'm saying? This is about preserving the words that specify our people. Freedman is one of those. I have no ties to that. I can't find anything towards that. And that's why, such as being proven by this even being, I don't even see how these people are bringing this up. But that was why Negro is so important, because they could take Freedman, they could take that and say, hey, this goes to all. They can't do that with Negro, and they won't do that with Negro, and that's why I stand so firmly on top of Negro, and not to get into that, Newstoter, not doing that, but I just wanted to state that's why we stand on it, because they can take Freedman, they can take that and say, this is, but should they? Hell no. And I definitely will sign that petition, just because they can't have that. They can't have anything that pertains to our people. So yeah, no matter what I feel about whoever, if it's about our people, I'm signing. Just wanted to say that, and yeah, thanks for letting me speak, Newstoter.
No problem. Thank you, that Negro. Thank you, and definitely sign that, and also not only sign it but retweet it out as well too. I know once you sign it, you can retweet it as well too. So definitely, anybody signs it, go ahead and retweet it out as well. Bookmark it so you can retweet it again as well too, guys. So definitely do that. So thank you, that Negro, and like we say, it's not about any differences we may have with one another. This is for the collective. This is for the future. This is for the present as well too. So let's definitely go ahead and any beefs or anything we may have with somebody, let's just go ahead and worry about that another time. But let's go ahead and worry about our people and trying to do the best for them. We gotta let these politicians know that you can't continually run over us. And Biden, them, they're pretty smart. They put Kamala Harris out there because she has some pigment in her skin, and they figure, well, it's better for her to do it than for a white person to do it. So they'll go ahead. She's like Naheem said, she's the first Black vice president. And I had a discussion with my dad earlier today, and I was trying to tell him, like, yeah, she's not really Black, Dad, but my dad's an older man. He's baby boomer, so well, I said, well, even her daddy was saying they weren't Black. Oh, well, just because he said it don't mean okay. I'm not gonna argue with you. If you say it, if you like it, I love it. So it is what it is. You say she's Black. I say she's Black every 4 years. I say she's Black when it's time to get into a HBCU and get grants and everything else to go and go to college and stuff like that. And then the other time she's Asian. She's the first Asian this, the first Asian that. So, I'm not going to get into it with my dad. Like I said, he's an older gentleman or whatever. And, we just agree to disagree on this one here. But Hilda, I know you got your hand back up, and anybody else in the space as well, too, guys. This is a discussion I felt that was much needed tonight, so we want to go ahead and we want to touch up on that. I'm glad that Hilda and Naheem stopped up in here as well, too, and you know we got any other Freedman folks up in here. And even if you don't claim Freedman, if you just say, hey, you know what, this is a vital part of history. It needs to we need to go ahead and stand in some solidarity on this right here. Please, by all means, we had a good space last night where a bunch of y'all came up and spoke. And I definitely think this is a space tonight as well, too, that you need to come up here and speak as well, too. DJ, you up in the space still? Or I know you out and about. DJ, I know DJ out and about because I know the people on YouTube want to actually, guys, I'll see about trying to find some way to go ahead and put that actual the petition over there in the chat as well, too. If DJ, I know if he wasn't out and about, I would have him go ahead and do it. But Hilda, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to respond to that Negro because he spoke of Negro slavery, and the freedmen were emancipated slaves, right? So those were the people that were emancipated from slavery, right? Freedmen, freed women, and that's a status. It's not a racial classification. It's an actual status. So, some people may call themselves freedmen because they choose to, but it's a status. It's not a racial classification like Negro. So Negro would be the racial classification of those freedmen, right? But freedmen itself would be a status. So to some extent, also what we call Black today, the majority of freedmen, 4 million emancipated slaves, were the majority of the Black population then. So, majority of Black Americans today who descend from U.S. chattel slavery are the majority of Black Americans today. So, let's keep that in mind as well.
All right. Thank you, Hilda. Let me get to I said we got a new speaker. That Negro, I'll get to you. Let me go ahead and get to Ariza, and then I'll get to you. Ariza, what's going on tonight, man?
Nothing much going on the grind. Hi, everybody. It's Ariza from Tuskegee, Alabama. I currently live in Anchorage, Alaska. Shouts out to that Negro. I see you. And DJ, I see you up in there too in the house. Art, I see you down there. Miss Hilda, I got you. Gracie Research, my favorite research group. Black Majority, I Am Money 360, Only Male. You guys know who I am. Rottweiler, I see you, dog. And Dana, thank you, because I got in late and I'm trying to work on a lot of stuff. If you guys want to see some of the stuff I'm working on, please follow me here on Twitter, also known as X. I just wanted to give a shout out about the Freedman Bank situation. There isn't too much more these politicians can do to shut us down. This entire conflict that's happening over in the Middle East is a distraction, but we're watching it from a distance. So if you guys are looking at the post I made, it's only because I'm trying to show you guys what's happening behind your back. But the Freedman's Bank legacy is really important because it helps us to chart a better future. Because we know where we've been. We know the history to some degree of the Freedman's Bank legacy. So all the mistakes that they made in the past, we won't make them this time around. I promise you that, especially with some of the stuff that I'm working on. And that's all I pretty much wanted to say. And I'm going to, I think I've already signed the petition, but I'm going to make sure that I pass that around to everybody. So I'm working on a lot of stuff. To Miss G, I'm hanging in there. I got you. And I hope that you guys have a great evening. If you ever need me, just DM me. I'm going to upgrade my status to premium. But I'm just worried it's going to cut out some people from being able to reach me. But if you guys have any questions, just give me a holler. And I'll land my plane there. Thank you, Newstoter, as always. As always.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to that Negro. That Negro, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I was just, man, I'm medicated like a mug. I'll put my hand back up.
Okay.
Because I got high.
Hey, DJ, if you get a chance, go ahead and put the actual put the petition over there in the chat if you can. If not, then don't worry about it. I'll have to try to put it another time. But if you can put it over there in the chat, it's up in the jumbotron on the far right hand side. Go ahead and put that over there so they can get a chance to participate in it as well too. Naheem, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah. So I put in the jumbotron. It was a post that I made. It says they are working on transcribing the information in the new Freedmen's Bureau database records. I said before I had to go through page after page in the region where my ancestors are from. Like literally, I had to find Ridgeville, South Carolina. Right, no, first I had to find South Carolina. Then I had to find Ridgeville. Then I had to scroll through every single page. And what you see in that screenshot is my great-great-great-great-grandfather, Aaron Wade. And that link that's in that tweet will take you to the Freedmen's Bureau's records. So if anybody's having a hard time locating their ancestry in the Freedmen's Bureau records or on Freedmen's rolls, if you will, just to use that term, this database is now becoming digitized. They're working on it around the clock. So you can punch in the last name of your ancestors that you may have known that were enslaved, or maybe, the region. If you're not familiar, maybe you can find the region. I actually did a YouTube video on this as well, teaching people how to research. And this was before this digitized version even came out. But how to do research into the Freedmen's Bureau's records to find your ancestors. It's an exhilarating thing when you can pinpoint, like you know exactly the region where your ancestors come from, and then you find the name of that ancestor through your family, your mother's side, your father's side. Maybe they'll tell you, our ancestor that came directly out of slavery's name was such and such, such and such. Maybe you couldn't find him or her on those records there, but with this digitized database, it is quite possible. It's quite possible that you'll be able to find your ancestor by name on these records in some capacity. So I just want everybody to click on that link and, search your family, do some history, man. It's time for us to start really, really getting serious about lineage and what lineage really, really is. Our families are our lineages. Whatever those 4 last names are that comprise of your family tree, that is your specific lineages. And if you are a descendant of emancipated persons in this country, formerly enslaved, then more than likely you may be able to find one of your ancestors on these Freedmen's Bureau rolls. So I just wanted to offer that up as a resource for those that say that they haven't found a Freedman, if you will, in their records or paperwork, etc. It's probably there, and that link will probably help you find it.
Definitely. And I know on my father's side, our people are from the Carolinas as well, too, South Carolina. I'm not sure about North Carolina, but I know South Carolina. It seems like every black person probably has a common ancestor that comes from the Carolinas in this country. If your family descends from American chattel slavery, more than likely, mom or dad's side, somebody has a family member that comes from the Carolinas. I don't know whether it's north or south, but you're going to more than likely find somebody from that area on either side of your family that comes from there as well too. So shout out on that as well too. And you're right. You definitely need to go ahead and try to trace our family roots back as much as possible. I know my mom's side, the Alabama, we got Alabama on her side, on both sides, her mother and father. And I know on my dad's side, on his mother's side, my grandma's side in particular, I know South Carolina was strong as well too. Of course, being here in Florida, we got some ties to Florida as well too. So we're about 4 states. About 4 states we can trace our lineage back to. So definitely, guys, definitely go ahead and do that as well too. That Negro, go ahead and unmute your mic. And anybody else, I see y'all so quiet up in the space tonight. I mean, this is a topic. This is an important topic, guys. And I really thought everybody be coming up here, saying what they feel about it, whatever. I want to check and see how many retweets we got as well too. Let me check and see how many retweets we got on this
On that, put the what you call it, the petition inside of the chat right here in the purple pill, the blue purple chat right here, whatever you want to call this thing, right here. See the text there. So make sure y'all go and do that. And yeah, I gotta agree with you. A lot of y'all knackers be up in here, be just on y'all phone. A lot of y'all may be at work and busy with the kids. We get it. But a lot of y'all can take 2 seconds out too to retweet the space and go up there and sign that petition. It's your money's money and your kids' money that's on the line, man. Go ahead, though, man.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, DJ, if you get it, I know you're driving this up, but if you get a chance, if you can put it over there in YouTube, that's cool. If not, then I put it over there another time. But definitely, guys, yeah, we got like 5 retweets on that so far, reposts or whatever Elon Musk want to call it. Let's see, it's 67 people up in the space tonight, and we got 5, and some of those may have been even before the actual space started as well too. So let's go ahead and get more retweets. Like, we should at least be, there's no reason why we can't at least get, even if you don't get a chance to sign it right now, just go ahead and retweet it out. Then you can go ahead, if you want to sign it after the space, you can go ahead and do that. It's at least on your page and whatnot, but at least go ahead and retweet it out right now. So you can come back later on and you can go ahead and you can you can go ahead and sign it or whatever. But let's, at least we got 67 people up in the space tonight. Let's see if we can at least get 50 retweets on that right now. Let's see if we can at least get 50 retweets on that. Like I say, let's put our differences aside and let's focus on the main thing. We already see the all-in-one that's coming. We already see the We Are the World. We see the Kumbaya. We see all of this. And historically, we know whenever this takes place, there's one group that always gets left out. And that group is Black people. All of the things with the civil rights movement and everything else that was about Black people, and Dr. Claude Anderson was right. It should have, instead of calling it civil rights, it should have been about Black rights. And that would eliminate a whole lot of stuff right then and there. Let's go ahead and start to sign this stuff. We look at it and whatnot, because whenever we go ahead and everything is included, we get left out of things like that, guys. So definitely go ahead, like DJ say, it's for you, it's for your family, it's for future generations and everything else. Let's go ahead and sign that. Definitely go ahead, at the very least, while the space is going on, at the very least, go ahead and just retweet it. That way, some of your followers can also see it as well too. Also up in the Jumbotron, we got the YouTube channel that's up in there on the far left-hand side. If you have not subscribed to that, we just broke over 1,000 last week. Go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube channel. For all my people on YouTube, make sure you guys like, share, comment on the broadcast tonight. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, for those that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. If you do not have the Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. And for those on YouTube, that's up in the actual description. Also, make sure you visit newstoter.com daily to stay up to date on breaking Black news. Make sure, go ahead and bookmark newstoter.com, and everybody in the space visit it at least once a day. We can visit all the white-owned platforms. Let's support some of the Black ones. Visit newstoter.com at least once a day for a minute. Just surf it and then come back. So visit it once a day, guys. Let me go ahead and get to that Negro. I see Miss Lisa up here. Miss Lisa, if you want to speak, just raise your hand, sweetie, and I'll get to you as well, too. That Negro, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, so where is it exact? Oh, got it. Okay. So, I'm going to say it again. I am dead serious. I'm about to sign this. It's already shared on my wall. Man, I'm done fighting, man. I'm done fighting. I know where I stand. I am here to uplift our people. I don't care what that looks like. I don't care who that's with. As long as you ain't talking funny against the ancestors and you are moving towards a bigger goal, man, I'm working with you. Like I said, I'm signing it right now. I hope that we all can get the same sort of support when all things come around. And man, let's work together to get this done. together, and we will. That's a guarantee, man. We work together, and we do this. Like I said, it's on my wall right now. So yeah, that's what it's about. That's what Negroes is here to do. Is work with our people to get the bag. And I'll yield right there. Thanks, Newstoter.
Thank you, that Negro. And I know when you've had your petitions, I've signed them and retweeted on it as well too. So you're right. Let's support. As long as it's constructive and it's something positive, let's go ahead and support one another. We don't have to be best friends, and we don't have to agree 100% on things as well like that. So whenever we can support another Black individual that's trying to do something positive, let's go ahead and support that person. If we can. If as long as it's something constructive and positive, and I feel that this is very constructive, very positive, very important as well too. Let's go ahead and show some support. I see we got the actual retweets up as well too. I think it's something like 13, so that's a good thing. I'm still gonna try to get everybody to get up to 50. I'm gonna still try to get everybody to get up to 50 if we can. I mean, I don't think that's hard, because all we gotta do is go up in that. It's on the right hand side, the second on the right hand side. All we got to go up there where it says repost and just hit that old retweet, and bam, it's done. So I'm definitely trying to get our people to go up there and repost it, retweet it. I still say it's hard for me to say repost, but retweet. I see Miss Lisa's up in the spot. Miss Lisa, what's going on tonight? You want to say something, sweetie?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you. How you doing?
Hi, family. I'm not going to go through the roster because I wouldn't know what to say or do. But I have an interest to ask Naeem. We need to set up something to help people that are disabled, like myself. I'm legally blind in my right eye, so it's a struggle for me to see a lot of times. And so I think we should have something set up to where that we can help the disabled that want to, research their lineage too.
That definitely sounds like a great thing, Naheem. Is that possible that we can go ahead and help some of our elders, that may have a handicap or a disability, to go ahead and do something like that?
Yes, absolutely, man. Like, one of the things that we've been trying to do with Be the Power and United Sons and Daughters of Freedman is just build a network. When you build a network, everybody is going to help each other. Everybody. And anybody that's been following our platform will know that. So whereas we can all lean on each other. So when somebody like the sister says, look, I'm having issues because I'm blind in one eye and I can't really do the same type of research that everybody else can, then there should be 1,000 of us that step up and be like, that should be elbowing each other out the way, like, yo, chill, I got you, sis. No, I got you. No, I got you, sis. You see what I'm saying? So I have absolutely no problem with helping the sister, and I'm hoping that some of the sisters that's in this space will help, step up and help the sister. It's time to build. It's time to network. It's time for us to network. This sister should be able to have assistance going through them records, because if it's not fully digitized, and I don't think it is yet, it can be a tedious process. And some people, they want to get paid for some of this. They got genealogists that do this stuff for a fee. We'll do it for free because we're a network. You see what I'm saying? So I have no problems with helping or assisting anybody that ever came to me in this space for anything that was pertinent and about moving us forward. Can't nobody say, yeah, I went to Naeem and he backed out on me. Nah, I've tried my best to help everybody. So yes, to the question, yes.
All right, Miss Lisa.
So I'm unsure if you're following me, Naeem, or not, and I do have a DM group by my name. If you can add yourself or connect or find yourself.
I just followed you, sis. I just followed you.
Okay. And
Are you following him, Miss Lisa?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I am, because I usually follow a lot of people before they even know that I follow them. And that's another thing I would like to stress to our people, because we need to really check who is following us. You know, it's not all about you per se wanting someone to follow you. We need to follow each other so we could get everyone's information out there. I don't like that selfish behavior. And I'm 61 years old, and I'm really watching you.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Lisa, this is the first time you spoke up in the space, isn't it?
Well, I don't speak often. I like to listen because I do want the younger generation to lead. I feel as though my generation at 61 or 65 are the bridge connection of the baby boomers, because I come in at the end. I was born in 1962. So basically all this stuff of the baby boomers was already going on. And by the time my young mind caught up to it, was like 10 years later. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I have to understand what is really going on. So to me, I'm a Malcolm X spirit child. So I am a rebel, you know, in my own right. I'm a Libra with Scorpio, you know, I'm a Libra born Scorpio moon. So if anybody into astrology, you'll kind of understand that. I could go, you know, peaceful one side, and I could come out like a warrior and want to cut your head off. So, and that spirit is in me. So the first time I ever witnessed, you know, my classmate, he was a year older than me, being gunned down by the police. He was 17 years old. His name was Darryl Walker in Orange, New Jersey. And it was over a cell phone case that was silver. And it still bothers me. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear it in my voice. And so after that, I got very involved in political and wanted to know what's around me and who's the council person and who's in this Eastwood. And you know, I saw different changes happen. You know, at the age of 14, every child around me had a job. Now, then when I got to about the age of 20, 22, because that's the time period when you're in and out and, you know, your hometown, going to college and stuff. And then when you come back and visit and you wonder how come the children are not really occupied, you know what I'm saying, with some kind of career or teaching ability around them. And that's when I started hearing about they having lotteries and this, what? You know, what's that about? And that's when we start losing our children by the wayside slowly. So I know these struggles. I've witnessed them. I've been a part of them. But I really don't speak up because I hear a lot of people want people to get behind them, but we should be behind each and every one of us. All of us are not designed to be chiefs, you know. And we also got to understand when you need to relax and let the next one be the chief, so that you could do the background work too. But it's a lot of selfishness within us, and we got to get rid of that, for real. Or we're not going to move united as an army like we should. And this is the time right now with all these distractions. It really is.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I can't say much more than what you said. You summed it up perfectly there. Definitely. And like I say, I'm glad to actually hear you speak, because I know you always support the platform and you support me all the time. So I'm, you know, I always see you in the space, or you're on YouTube and stuff like that. So I'm glad that you came up tonight and you actually spoke. And we definitely, like you said, we definitely and stay on us with that as well too, Miss Lisa, about trying to help you, you know, like you asked Naheem for that help, so you can go ahead and be able to get the information and be able to access it properly as well too. So thank you on that end as well.
And my last thing I want to say is that whatever platform you're on, you need to take it to each and every one of them. When I came in tonight, it was at 68 that was viewing. And what I did behind the scenes, I went and doctored and did my own thing, took it to Facebook. And then when I went back in to check, when DJ was speaking, it rose up to 239 people. Because when you hit your story area on my Facebook, if you pay attention, you know, when you post and then you put it up in your story area, it goes over to Instagram. And even if you're not there, you know what I'm saying, or open up these platforms. It's not just about us right here. How are we going to reach anyone on social media or on the ground if we're not opening our mouths, opening up ourselves to everywhere that we could possibly do?
Yes, ma'am.
That's why we slow to the race.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said you're lazy. And it don't make sense. I'm 61. I'm legally blind, and I'm doing it.
Yes, ma'am. You're right. You're right about
Tough
that.
love comes strong sometimes. It's not about calling your feelings. I'm not about it. I'm straightforward, just like Donald Trump. And yes, I do support it.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Lisa. We appreciate it as always. Thank you. We definitely
You're welcome. Love you, Newstoter.
love you too, sweetie. Love
And
you.
DJ. DJ is New York, and I am New Jersey.
Definitely. Shout out to Miss Lisa. Like I say, Miss Lisa be chilling and she be laying low and whatnot. But Miss Lisa be talking cash noise, cash trash, and those DMs and stuff like that as well too. So shout out to Miss Lisa. Yeah. We got anybody else that wants to come up and speak as well too? Because y'all know I'm not gonna keep the space open any longer than it has to be. You know, like I say, I wanted to put this topic out here. I saw it, gaining steam, but I felt it needed to gain a little bit more steam. So I want to go ahead and give it the respect that it needed and have a space on it as well too. I still like to see us get more of these retweets up here as well too, guys. Like I said, I wanted to leave the actual space with 50 retweets, but let me see where we at. We at 16, so that's a far cry. We need 34 more to get to the actual the 50. Go ahead, Naheem, you got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off. Thank you, man, for doing this space and pushing that petition. And there's a glimmer of hope inside of me that we actually can work together. Because I'm getting people hitting me on the back channel talking about people that's retweeting the petition that don't really rock with me at all. So I'm glad that they're able to separate me from how important this thing is. We can't let these people take over our legacy and use it for everybody else while we're suffering. That's a part of the fight that we've been fighting for the past couple of years, that they're using us. They're using the plight of our people to help everybody else while we're getting pushed out into the streets, literally, not figuratively, literally. So I really want to give a shout out to everybody, man. Even if you don't rock with me, it's cool. If you signed the petition and shared it, for tonight, I fucks with you. So shout out, brother Newstoter. Shout out, brother DJ. Like I said, man, this shit is about the mission. This shit is not about no one person. Peace, man.
Peace. And much respect to you, Naheem, as well, too. I'm going to let anybody else that wants to speak real quick come up here and speak. If not, we're going to shut the space down. Like I say, we ain't keeping it going no longer than it has to go. And it looks like everybody's pretty much quiet. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close it down for tonight, guys. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for everybody who came out to the space tonight. Continue to share that petition as well, guys. Continue to share that petition as well. We will see you tomorrow night. Peace. Everybody have a good one. Peace to all my people on YouTube, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow night. Everybody have a good one.